Hello everyone, this is Christine at the Crafters Outpost, and today we have been making buttons, and we had also been making them all week out of cardboard and just doing different little designs there, as you can see. And so now I've started back on the regular hard buttons. And I have a big jar of these, and I was trying to figure out creative ways on how to decorate them. So some of the things that I did is I took some fingernail polish, and you can use top coat for the clear and some different kind of polishes that you can use to get these kind of buttons. So as you can see, this one I put some of this silver polish on it and just made a little design. And then here's the gold one. So what you can do, if you don't like a particular color of a button, like that's just, you know, you don't want a lot of those. So what I did is I took black nail polish and then just painted it. And so then you can add your different polishes or glitter or whatever you got here. And then I also did some with paper on top, and they turned out pretty good. The tough job is to get them straight around the button. So I'm going to go ahead and make a few on camera to give you an idea on how you can do this. Here is all the collection of nail polish that I have. And some of it's old and some of it's fairly new, but as you can see, I have a lot of it. And so you just can use whatever color you have, and if your polish is dried up, you can add a little bit of nail polish, I think remover or alcohol maybe, to get the color back to come back out. So anyway, these are some of the colors that I'm going to be using today. Okay, so let's get started on this project. And so all you want to do is take a button, and this one I already did in the black. So you just take your fingernail polish and depends on what side you want to use. Sometimes that side's good, but for the majority I like this side. So you're just going to paint. And sometimes, depending on your fingernail polish, on how thick it is, you only really need to do one coat. And you can do the sides if you like. Or you can paint it in later if you don't want to get your fingers full of fingernail polish. The best way to do it is your edges is to do one of these pins. Let's just get that out of the way. And it takes a little bit for them to dry. So again, it's a little more stinkier probably than paint. You can use paint. And so after that dries, then what I do, which here's a dry one, is, excuse me, like that one I just put some white on. But I'm going to do this one in the silver glitter. And again, you know, you could probably do this better with paints But if you have old fingernail polish and you don't want to invest in paints, this is the next best thing. And as you can see, it does work. And it gives your buttons a glossy shine if it is a glossy polish. But there's some really cool colors of fingernail polish out there. When that dries, I can also do the silver, or I may just do the gold. Let's try this one. These metallics are pretty cool. It's just a matter of me not getting it all over myself. Oop, a little too much. And sometimes they will need a second coat if you want it to not show the actual button color. And it really does just take practice. And after it's dry, then you can go back and hold it up and get the edges if you want in the same, if you're wanting it in the same color. But for the most part, when you put it on a card or a piece of fabric, depending on, maybe if I hold it like this, there we go. Depending on what you're going to use it for, whether you need to even hide the sides. But again, this will probably need, well, it doesn't necessarily need 2 coats if you're doing a blue and pink journal or using the colors. Okay, this is getting a little difficult. Maybe I should try to find another tool. But anything you can use to just keep it in place so you can color it is the idea. So they do make pretty buttons. And most people already have fingernail polish, so it's a great idea. And let me see, let's just try this one. Let's see if I can hold it down. See, that just gives it some gloss and some big glitters. Guess I should have probably shaken that up. Kind of looks like a night sky with stars or something. And you can just dab it, put it on there. But I think those are pretty cool. Okay. And these buttons are actually really pretty the way they are. So there's a lot of things you can do. And this one, all I did was add, I think, this metal nail polish, and then I just took my marker and I went around the edge and then I made swirlies. So again, you can get really creative with it. I didn't do one in the orange. Let's see how that one would be. Make sure you shake your bottles. I don't know. This one's gonna show up very good. See, oh, pretty. See, you just never know. And you can layer the fingernail polish different colors. So the sky's the limit, guys. You just, you don't need a lot of expensive crafting supplies to make things. And I'm sure most of you probably have more fingernail polish than you'll probably ever use, like I do. So it's just a good way to use it up. Okay guys, so I went into my craft room and I did find these wooden sticks. Now you could probably also use a toothpick, but this I found to be the perfect solution to not getting the fingernail polish all over my fingers. And so this is a good way to do your edges. Then you can just roll it around. I'm trying to do this one-handed because I didn't want to hook my camera back up. So I'm trying to do it with one hand, so bear with me. But the idea is that you can use a wooden stick or a toothpick, and then you can put on a second coat when it's dry, and then it also sets up good for it to dry. And so that's another tip. I just had to think about it for a minute. And then you can also get more creative and do little clusters of, if you have leftover jewelry or whatever. I'm actually going to make feathers, clips for closures on my journals. I will make another video about that. But this is something else you can do to attach to it, one of the buttons like that. If you want, you know, to be able to make it thicker. Also, I was going to see about maybe putting a top coat of just regular polish on one of these. I do have glossy accents, but I did want to try this and see what would happen here. Should give it the same glossy look. I think it's doing just fine. So if you don't have glossy accents, you can always use a top coat, a shiny top coat of any fingernail polish. And that's really it. I think it's going to do the trick. Okay, I had to take a few minutes to think about this one and see what I could do to be able to do more than one button and to actually let them sit and dry and be able to handle doing all the sides and second coats. Although it doesn't take that long for the buttons to dry with the nail polish, but I thought this was pretty good, and so far it's working pretty good. So if you have one of these floral bases that you stick flowers in, you can take 2 toothpicks, make sure that you crisscross them, and then they will stay up there, and you can actually do your coating with your polish this way, as many as you want, and all you need is some, voila, toothpicks. So, you know, things just come to you sometimes when you're trying to figure out a better and faster way of doing things, which I like faster and better, all in one swipe. So this is what I came up with, guys, and I hope it helps. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Thank you.